So we're doing something new in this video, getting a running average. So let's say this is for a teacher to enter exam scores for a small class of students, and we'll get a class average performance on the exam. So let's say the first student gets an 85. This is a user-driven loop, so I'll say yes, I want to enter another one. Exam score for student 2, let's say that person got a 95. And yes, I'll enter one more, and we'll say this last person got a 60. Okay, no more. And so the class average is an even 80. That sounds about right. So let's take a look at the code here. I have my variables up at the top. The exam score is like any exam score for the current student that is being entered. I do have a count. Even though this is not counter-controlled repetition, this is user-controlled repetition, I still want to keep a count of the students. You might have noticed in the output it said enter score for student 1, enter score for student 2, enter score for student 3, and so on. So I'm keeping a count for that purpose. And also, I need to know how many scores I'm entering because I'm going to get an average at the end. So as I'm totaling up the scores, ultimately I'm going to divide that by the number of scores. So I need to keep count in any case. And then we also have the running total variable that's going to get the running total that I'm entering for of all the exam scores as I'm looping. And then finally, we will get an average after all said and done. That's going to take place after the loop. And then I have my go again variable that is going to determine whether or not the user wants to keep looping in the user-driven loop. So very importantly, you want to initialize your count and total variables to 0. Okay, they need to start at nice clean zeros in order for this to work. So inside of the loop, you can see I'm asking the user to enter the scores. Look at this. Okay, I started count. Count does have to start at 0, but if I want to say enter score for student 1, student 2, student 3, and so on, you have to offset that by 1. Okay, and using cin to get the score. And I'm doing, as the score is coming in, I'm adding that to the running total. This is shorthand syntax for this statement. Okay, the running total equals whatever's already in there plus the new amount that you're adding to that total. So think of it this way. The first time through the loop, I'll do it down here. Your first time through the loop, running total starts at 0, and the first person I entered had an 85, if you recall. So we're saying running total equals whatever's already in there plus the new score, which is 85. So the running total goes up to 85. Okay, I'll move this over here. And then the second time through the loop, I think that person got a 95. Okay, and so running total equals, this is the second time through the loop now, whatever's already in there plus the new score that's coming through, which is 95, so that would, I think 180 is the new number, okay? Third time through the loop, the person got, I think it was a 60, I typed in. So running total equals whatever's already in there, 180, plus the new value coming through, the 60, so that would take us up to 240, okay? So the running total in that case was 240, and then I ended it, all right? And after the loop now, I'm going to get the average, okay? The running total was 240 divided by the count, which I was keeping track of all the while. I had 3 scores entered, so that's going to be 240 divided by 3 in this case, and I got my average of 80. Now the thing is, these are integers. The running total and the count were integers, so you have to be mindful of integer division. And so I put a static cast on the count. I could have just as easily put the static cast on the running total, but I put it on the count, casted that to a float, And now the average is going to be a float value, and then I'll show it to precision of 1 decimal place. And that's it. The rest of this, I just kind of brushed over this, but we saw this in the user-driven video, that you give the user a way out. Do you want to enter another? Yes or no? I'm converting it to lowercase, and I've set up my loop, my do-while loop, to keep going while they keep saying yes. Okay, eventually they're going to say no, or something, anything other than yes is going to end that loop. So yeah, this is a very common technique, this getting a running total while you're looping, which is why we have shorthand syntax for it, the arithmetic assignment operator. But this is really what's going on here. That running total equals whatever is already in there plus adding to it. That's how you get, this is called an accumulator. An accumulator variable in programming, this running total is, you get a cumulative total of a bunch of values, typically while you're looping.